I did stop and have a meal somewhere,
Yeah.
which was, that's another thing I love about New York is just that, you can't possibly experience everything that's there in a lifetime, in my opinion. You could spend your
No.
entire life eating
Same
out
with Paris.
every
Yeah.
single meal, and you'd never get everywhere. And so that just wander around and discover places thing, to me, that's one of the most fun things you can do in life.
Oh man, it's like the best, and it's how satisfying. I want to talk about like two things that kind of came up because we can get back to cycling in a second and biking and stuff, but like it it's so satisfying to just to live in a place where you just go, I'm just gonna go wander around, and then just be able to go do that and see stuff and like that. My favorite things to do in Paris was I would just wake up and then I would just go. I would go today. I'm gonna head northwest, and then I would just head in that direction and kind of get lost until I got hungry and then I'd find a place to eat or until like I had to do something and then I would just jump on the metro and head back home. And the same thing you can do easily in New York is just decide to go for an adventure. And so much of the neighborhoods, especially in Manhattan, especially around Brooklyn and into the Bronx, I've never been to Staten Island. I have no idea what that's like. But if you go around the city, the neighborhoods are so different from place to place. And they have their own history and they have, all kinds of like old churches and different landmarks and places that have been open since like 1850. I mean, one of the coolest places was down the street from the apartment I was living in on 7th Street. And it's like 7th and 2nd, between 2nd and Broadway, I think, if I'm right. Anyway, this place is called McSorley's, and it's opened in like 1840. It's the oldest continuously operated bar in New York,
Wow.
and it never closed. They only serve two types of beer, dark and light. It's the same recipe they've used for
Wow.
170 years, 180 years. And you're there once, and like there was just a whole bunch, and all this stuff, all this shit is on the walls. They've never taken anything down since like the 1970s. So like there's things on the walls that are World War One photos of World War One veterans who came back after the war ended and had a beer at McSorley's and like
Wow.
that kind of stuff you could just wander around and like discover. You know what I mean? It's just so satisfying to do.